this is really where I think the difference is in a lot of the business speakers and frankly the marketers. There's a lot of talk out there, but not a lot of them can fill rooms. I've had people, I don't know if they just feel compelled to challenge me or say things, but I've been told, oh, I'm going to put 800 people here, I'm going to put 600 people there. And I even had people that, they lie and say I had X amount of people and I know who was there, and it's hard to fill a room. I'm not suggesting I'm great at it. We've had some pretty good success. I think we're one of very few in our marketplace that have been able to fill a room, and now we're starting to do the same thing online. So all of this applies whether you want to fill a room in your local hotel or you want to fill a virtual room full of people for your webinars. We've had great success in doing this, and it's really born in the basics. So this really comes down to kind of like a marketing plan for an event. And we have to think in terms of that marketing. Some people think, oh, well, I just do this and magically it's going to happen, and it just takes work. So I'm going to give you, if you can buckle up here, we're going to go through all these 25 ways to help fill your room. All right, so let's dig right in. First and foremost, especially in the online world, title and topic. Man, they are king. You want to look for buzzwords that can be powerful and attracting for people and catch their attention. I've heard some professional speakers say they spend as much as 80% of their effort on really thinking about their title and topic. Not sure I agree with that, but we put a lot of time and testing into it to make sure we've got it. But one thing I'd also offer to you is be careful what you call it, because you better be able to deliver. The ones that I see where we're going to triple your income in one night, or make $100,000 in the next day, and people go there with that expectation, and you better be able to deliver, because you might fill the room once, but I'm more interested in filling the room in my webinars over and over and over again. And we've been pretty lucky to do that. So make sure you get a compelling title and topic, but make sure you can deliver. Second way, an event flyer. Every event should have a flyer. Even if you're not going to print them, design it as a flyer, because it's something you're going to post on the registration sites. It's something that you're going to email out, and hopefully if you're doing a live event, you're going to pound the pavement and have a nice leave behind. So you've seen some examples of the flyers I like. I love using big, colorful images, powerful branding, really vivid, nice, clear call to actions for people. And the other part of it too is I like them big and professional. Please make sure a professional designs your flyers. My preference is a half page, the 5.5 by 8.5. There's no rhyme or reason to that. It's just been what's most successful for me. But I definitely encourage you to create a very professional event flyer. Number 3 is your database. We're going to promote this via your email blast to everybody on your database. So you want to make sure that you're always working on building that database, and you're going to probably hit them with multiple media. You're going to, maybe mail them the flyer. You're going to give them phone calls and email blasts. So one little tip I'd give you here, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, is send it to everybody. Send it to, if you're doing a physical event, let's say in your local market, and you know that you've got people on your database all over the country, my recommendation is at least once send it to everybody, because it's a part of your branding. And I will tell you that a lot of the opportunities, both from consulting and from speaking, have come when I've been out there promoting myself to my entire database for an event that I know that not all of them can go to. So one comes to mind. I remember, we're up in Northern California, and I had a gentleman that received our flyer, and he was in LA, and I got booked to speak down there, and he obviously couldn't make it up here for our event, but it got me a speaking engagement. So don't be afraid to market to your old database, but you definitely want to market to the ones that you can know will make it. So for live events, focus on those. If it's a webinar, obviously that's the beauty of promoting to your whole database for a webinar. Number 4, social media. I think this goes without saying. So all of the registration sites you use, all of the promotional collateral that you create, you can push this all out on social media. You can use social media to interview your speakers. You can discuss the topics. You can blog on it. Lots and lots of different ways to use social media. Here's the one thing that I want to make sure and share with you. Don't think that social media is going to fill your room. I'm going to say it again. Don't think that social media is going to fill your room. Now, I know people like Alejandro Reyes who do it, but he's in the business of social media. Most of us are not. So just because you have a couple thousand people, like your page on Facebook, or you have 5,000 Twitter followers, that doesn't mean that all you got to do is turn on the faucet and they're going to register for your event. It's a big misnomer, and I don't want you to set false expectations for yourself. So the flip side is true for my mentor, Kevin Bracey. Fills rooms with 700 plus people and does it without any social media. Does it without business cards. Almost does it without flyers. It's just a grassroots hustle. Lots of ways to do it. Social media is a great benefit. Don't get me wrong. Just don't rely on it. But you can use Facebook and LinkedIn to set up and post your events. You can push the content out via your blogs and your feeds and do all of that. It all helps. Just don't rely on it by itself. Next one are registration sites. Most important thing you can do is have one central place where everybody registers. My absolute favorite is Eventbrite. Meetup, some people use that, and whether you charge or not, you can actually charge on Meetup. Not a lot of people know that. And there are others, but those are probably the two predominant ones that are out there. I don't suggest Evite for events, even if they're free, because I like the fact that it's particularly Eventbrite, that you're building your list. Every time they register, you're getting their names and their emails. You can ask them great questions. You can poll them. You can send them messages to give them reminders. It's really a wonderful system. So find a registration site. There's some in your resource guide at the back of the workbook you can check out. Number 6, community calendars. Post this thing everywhere. There's tons of free places that you can get out. Every community is a little bit different, but you're looking at chamber sites, there's local news sites, your online magazine sites, there's usually community calendars. One great resource, it's also listed in the back of your workbook, is fullcalendar.com, and there's a couple others like it where you can put your event information in and then it pushes that out to a number of the local online calendars in your marketplace, usually 20 or 30 of them. So might be a good resource to check out. Number 7 is a press release. I highly recommend press releases, particularly if what you're doing is newsworthy. If it's for a charity, or it's there's a great cause behind it, or there's a social push behind it. A press release can be a really valuable tool. If you're not sure how to use press releases, connect with a good marketing person, and they can really do a great job of leveraging that resource for you, because they need to be written a certain way and distributed a certain way. So, and there's timing and all kinds of other things. So they're a great tool. You just have to know how to use them or have the right people to help you. Number 8 is the media. Kind of same thing applies here, but don't be afraid to contact your local TV and radio and print media about the event. You'd be surprised how many of them, again, are looking for great content, great stories, and yours certainly could be one of those. I know we reached out to our media at our last event, and sure enough, literally I'm on stage and here comes the TV crew through the door doing a story. So it was bittersweet because they showed up, but I didn't get to do anything, but they got to interview some other people, and it was really cool. We got a nice little spot on the evening news. So that's not uncommon. There's a lot of great techniques to get in and use the media, but you just have to kind of know how to run that gauntlet a little bit. Number 9, probably not one I'm great at, but I'm going to put it in here to help try and save you some time, energy, and stress, is ask for some help. ask for some help. Send out a survey to find out what people are looking for, what they would register for. Ask for people to help promote, and we'll talk about some of those other things. Ask for people to help volunteer. Ask for people to help sponsor. You can't be afraid to ask for help. Number 10 is get on the phones. I'm always amazed at how we forget about the phone. We rely so much on social media and email. But boy, if you can get on the phone, and you can outsource this, to a virtual assistant, and there's all kinds of ways of doing this, but very inexpensively. Give them your list, and their sole job is to get on there, bang the phones, and tell everybody about the event. And in literally a day or two, they can work through a pretty significant list of people. So don't be afraid to contact your centers of influence, call your database, and you definitely want to call your clients and let them know about the event. All right, we're going to move on here to number 11. So number 11 is your speaking contacts. Many of you will have been out building goodwill, building your reputation in the community, and you've probably spoken for free. Well, who better to call? Law of reciprocity. Hey, remember when I spoke for your organization? I was wondering if you could, send out our registration link, or if you could send out an e-blast to your group about this, or if I could come promote it at your next meeting. Most of the time, they're more than willing to do that for you. So leverage those previous speaking contacts that you've had. Number 12 are email blasts. We talked a little bit about this. This is one of the key ways you're going to drive registrations on your database. So don't email too much. Make it professional, make it easy to understand, and most importantly, make it very clear what you want them to do, which is that registration button. So, if you can use a designer, it's worth its weight in gold, because there's a lot of design and psychology that goes into designing a well received and a good converting email blast. Number 13 are partners. Great way to fill your room is to partner with people. Find other speakers, business owners, referral partners, people that you can develop a good synergy with, that you're in alignment with, as we spoke about in the last module. As I always say, you need to be careful. Make sure you're getting the right people. But if you can find some good partners to help you, it can really leverage your efforts. Same thing goes for affiliates. If you're not familiar with an affiliate, they're essentially salespeople. So you find people that you know and you trust, and usually these are fans of your brand, or they do this for a living. They're marketers, and they can help push your message or your event out to the public, to their list, to their clients, to their circles of influence, and they get a percentage of whatever they sell. If you use a registration site, most of them make it pretty easy to create an affiliate link or an affiliate site. This can get a little high level, but the simple version, if you use Eventbrite, in literally 2 or 3 clicks, you can add as many affiliates as you want, and it takes care of all the tracking, all the marketing, and all the payments for you. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So don't rely on affiliates. You got to remember that you care about filling your room more than anybody else, but they can be a really great asset to have on your team. Number 15 are sponsors. Ironically, this is really a double win, because not only can you get them promotion and get them business, but at the same time they might pay you to promote your event. So they pay you for a sponsorship opportunity, maybe a couple $100. But guess what? They're now talking about your events. So one of the strategies I use with a lot of my sponsors is I give them tickets included with their sponsorship, because I want them out promoting it. They're obviously proud enough, they obviously believe in you enough to sponsor your event. So who better to be out there and be an advocate for it than your sponsors? It's great. It makes them look good when the room is full and everybody sees all their stuff. So it's a win-win. 16, another win-win could be a charity. I like to try and find a charity to promote and really make a focus for our events. Now I want to make sure I say this very clearly, that you need to do this for the right reasons. You don't pick a charity because you're trying to find a way to leverage your marketing. You pick a charity because it's something you're passionate about, and it's a great opportunity to raise some money for them and raise some awareness. Having a charity involved makes it easier to market. It'll open some doors, but you don't want to do it for the wrong reasons. So find something you're passionate about, something that's in alignment maybe with your topic, and approach some charities, and they're always looking for help, but do it for the right reasons. Number 17 are giveaways. You know, this hasn't changed for years and years and years. You know, people love free stuff. So you don't have to give away an iPad or, you know, any, you know, free computers or any of that stuff. I know that gets kind of crazy online sometimes, but give them a compelling reason to register. You know, some sort of, maybe it's a raffle that you're going to do or something that you get donated, but don't just give away free consultations or stuff like that. I mean, it has to be something of value, some nice takeaway that would entice them to actually sign up. Number 18, make sure you take credit cards. Make sure and take credit cards, because whether they're paying debit or credit, the majority of your people are going to pay by credit card. It just makes life easier. It allows them to register online, and it can make your life easier with being able to close more sales faster. So highly encourage taking credit cards, and if you're not sure how to do that, whatever registration site you're using will most likely allow you to do it through them or through PayPal. So either credit cards or PayPal, but my preference would be both. Number 19 are meeting planners, marketing companies. You know, there's some people who make a living by, you know, organizing and promoting events. The only thing I want to be cautious here is not all of them are good at filling rooms. Some of them are good at organizing the event and getting all the nuts and bolts together, but they're not all good about filling rooms. So be wary of somebody who approaches you for a flat fee kind of consulting package to help you promote your event. I'd much rather pay them double their fee based on performance. Usually that, for most of them, that they'll shy away. But there are some great meeting planners out there. They're good at what they do, and they can be a real asset, particularly if they're strong already in your marketplace. But look to them to get some results. I would pay them on results, and at a very minimum, I would ask to see their previous results that they've had. Number 20 is offer some package discounts. You want to make sure that you can make it enticing for people to pay for the stuff, and don't be so stuck on your price that you're not willing to discount your pricing. So sometimes we can get a little stuck and proud, but it's good to always offer a package discount. Give them a group of 5 tickets, and this leads into the next one, which is, you know, be flexible, be creative. You know, your goal is to get butts in seats, right? So, you know, maybe you got to group your tickets. Maybe you got to do a 2-day crazy promotion. Maybe it's a buy one get one free. Maybe you got to trade some out, but don't forget, at the end of the day, you're trying to fill the room. Number 22, print tickets. This is a lesson that I learned more recently, that you know, you'll be somewhere speaking or promoting, and you'll get this all the time. People will say, "Oh, yeah, I'm going." And if you had a ticket, you could sell it to them right there. But they're going to do it when they get home or next time you see them, and that never happens. So I now print tickets so that if I'm out speaking or promoting or networking or whatever, that I can literally give them a ticket right on the spot. In your resource guide, I have a really great resource for printing tickets that save you a ton of money. They look professional, and you know, save you a lot of time from having to search out some resources for that. Number 23 is pretty simple rule. Just promote everywhere. Every single thing you do, networking, community events, speaking engagements, put it in your email signature, put it in your newsletters, you know, push it out in your e-blasts, in your blogs. Everything you do, you need to be promoting. My very first event, I did 30 networking events in 30 days to fill a room. You know, as you get online, you're going to want to be blogging more and really building that community so that when you do announce that webinar, that you've got some people signing up for it, right? So promote everywhere. You've got to be in promoter mode. Number 24, one of my favorite new tools is an intro webinar. So whatever the topic or the concept is, that you have a webinar that kind of is the overall theme, kind of an introduction to the concept, maybe even an introduction to some of the speakers, kind of to whet their appetite a little bit, and then an opportunity to register for tickets. So you can add some value, you can make it entertaining, but you can also promote the event. And this can be a really nice bridge to get some people online. And the beauty of this is, you know, people can go to the webinar to attend a local event, or you can have an intro webinar for a future webinar that might be paid. So you can use this on both platforms. And then last but not least is create an advisory or a leadership board. This is something I've seen done really successfully, and we're doing more of now, where you really create a key team around you that have specific roles. Typically these are people that are influential in the community. You know, think of it just like a nonprofit board. They look for certain people because they can benefit the nonprofit in certain ways. Well, you have some really great people that love what you do. You've helped their life and their business and their families or their health, and this might be a way they can serve you in return. So ask them to be on the board, and you can run key decisions by them. You can have them help promote. You can have them help work at the events. And you try and do something in return for them by maybe giving them some free tickets or some promotional space or something along those lines. But most of the people will just dig being around it, having a good time, and feeling like they're contributing to this really cool event. So create an advisory leadership board, I think, is something that would really serve you, particularly for the larger events that you might put on. So 25 ways, and I will tell you that we use almost all of those for every single event. I know it's exhausting, but I told you it's not easy, but it's doable.